Alright fellas, so the next three videos I'm going to be posting, and I know this is a slightly different start to any video that I've recorded in the past, but I need to preface this. So these videos I recorded maybe 2 years ago. There's going to be a three-part series, right? The first one's going to be about 7 minutes, the second one's going to be about 15 minutes, and I think the third one's going to be about 30 minutes. You need to watch them. So let me give you some context. Basically about the insights that have made these individuals that are making 600k a month, 500k a month, 300k a month, and how they're consistently doing it without trading their time and energy. Funnily enough, these videos are 3 videos that I sent to every single person that booked a call with me within like a 6-month period last year. Only one person last year within a 6-month period did not show up to a call that they had booked with me. It meant that they were watching over an hour worth of content prior to jumping on that call. I think it's one of those insights that every agency owner needs to get their hands on, and I'm going to be posting them consistently, the first, the second, and then the third. This is going to be the first one. This is what I call the intro into the exit of being a commodity-based agency owner. The next 2 are the ones that you guys need to get your hands on. Tune in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So we've got guys like Serge Guattari, who you guys are probably familiar with, right? Having studied this guy went from offering a singular commoditized skill such as appointment setting, scaling to 30k a month, implemented this framework that I'm going to be showing you guys for absolutely free, and he made $4 million in 2 years. It's insane. Or we look at someone like Jeremy Pope, for example, who went the same route, right? He ran an agency, probably came across some hardships, some struggles, and then within the 8-month period, he scaled to $217,000 a month. He's now crushing it with the ads and appointment setting game. It's ridiculous, right? If you guys actually sit through this for the next 5-10 minutes, understand these frameworks and principles is just going to absolutely change the game for you. So the amount of money that you desire to make is directly proportionate to the amount of offers you're pitching your clients within this framework. So it's an infinite amount of leverage. The more you pitch this type of offer, the more money that you will make. The amount of money that you make is directly proportionate related to the amount of pitches that you guys are making using this offer. So why did I even decide to learn these frameworks, study these frameworks from these 1%? And it's because of this. A lot of people in the local lead gen space, so when I became a mentor, mentoring these guys, it was the same problems that kept occurring. Right? They would endlessly break their back, pause. I know someone's going to clip this, but pause. Chasing a client just to make ends meet and then realize the onslaught of problems and baggage that they came with. You know, once they're signed, they would end up losing them within 2 to 4 months, and then the cycle repeats. They were living on borrowed time. Running a business wasn't enjoyable. Scaling was impossible. And there was no predictive way to know how much revenue you would have in the next 30 days. They were basically working with bottom of the barrel clients, and gurus sold you a dream, and it was my job to make it a reality as a mentor to these guys. So the gurus would tell you stuff like sign clients, outsource the work, scale your agency, just do outreach, sign clients, just add irresistible guarantees. Like, they made it seem so simple. And the problem with that is every single person took that route. Every single person believed them. So when they entered the space, competition was at all-time high because everyone had the same sales angle, offer, service, and guarantee. And it just became impossible to even differentiate yourself within the industry. And this isn't your fault. The people that you trusted to put you in a better position are the ones to blame. They sent you on a downward spiral of chasing your tail, wasting your time, spending unnecessary finances, and simply running your agency into the ground. Isn't it funny that the same advice that they give you, whether that be cold call, do this, do that, isn't the advice that they're implementing themselves? And that is why I had to go out, do the groundwork, spent months, researching, learning from these guys, seeing what they do, and create a framework and learn the frameworks that they're currently implementing for themselves. But then everything changed. The amount of money that you charge is directly proportionate to the amount of value that you provide. I will say that again. The amount of money that you charge is directly proportionate to the amount of value that you provide. Most agencies are only providing leads and booked appointments, meaning you're not adding that much value since you're not bridging the entire gap. The client current situation is here. Their desired situation is here. Booked appointments only bridges 15 to 20% of the gap. The rest of the gap is the other problems that they may face, whether that be low lead quality, not being able to close them on meetings, not having a CRM. This is why you guys cannot charge more, is because you're not bridging the entire gap. And this is the current mastery flywheel for 99% of agency owners. They offer booked appointments or leads, which is a singular commoditized skill. And you're only providing one valuable solution, meaning that there is a cap on your pricing potential. And because you're charging a low service fee, the partnership potential is minimal, meaning you're not going to attract outsourcers, or should I say high quality outsourcers, high quality VAs, media buyers, etc. So the leverage to accumulate no new skills is simply isn't there, and you're forced to keep offering the same service just to get by. This is why offering leads and booked appointments cannot run. If you guys are currently sitting down watching this video, after this video, you should not only be offering booked appointments and leads, you should be figuring out how you can bridge the entire gap. And that is what I'm going to be showing you in this video. So you need to bridge the entire gap. Stop selling services and start selling infrastructures. So this is what I'm talking about. The fact that the 1% is bridging the entire gap. They're not just going into these local businesses and saying, look, I'll bring you booked appointments and leads. They're bringing them a CRM. They're becoming a growth consultant. They're uploading different go high level snapshots, whether that be Google reviews, data activation campaigns, whether that be nurturing sequences, appointment reminders, all these different things. They're building an infrastructure within their business. And as you can see, they're bridging the entire gap. And when you bridge the entire gap, you're providing more value. The more value that you provide, what did it say, guys? The amount of money that you can charge. So as they provide more value up front, as they bridge the entire gap, there is a high pricing power because it's taking the client from their current situation all the way to their desired situation. The more problems you solve, the more you're perceived to be valuable. If you want to charge more, solve more problems. Leads and booked appointments is the old way of running your local lead gen agency, and you guys have to be doing more. So Shama, how do you come up with these different problems to solve? Well, I'm once again going to be showing you guys what to do. So operating this way gives you more negotiating power. You can demand money up front. You can increase your service fee by at least 3 to 5x, and you can receive a percentage on the back end of the money that you make. The reason why you can do that is because the value is infinite. If you're running ads for a business, the moment you stop running ads, the value stops. When you're building an infrastructure for these businesses, the value continues as long as they're using that structure or service. That is why it's super, super important. And the craziest part is, since you're providing so much value, they can't say no. So how do you come up with the components that can bridge the gap for your client, enabling you to charge more, which is essentially these aspects right here? And this is how you do it. This is what we spoke about at the start of the video. This is called the mechanism to success framework. You want to figure out all the possible problems that your niche client may face, create a mechanism to overcome said problem, and make the solution done for you, done with you, or do it yourself. So for example, if we're just talking about a generic local business, let's say they're not generating enough leads and customers, the mechanism to avoid failure is to utilize paid ads in order to find leads and customers. Let's say they're not getting a consistent flow of quality leads. You want to take over the qualifying and nurturing process entirely using Go High Level. You want to have the lead form, then the nurturing sequence, and then turn those guys into booked appointments. Let's say that they're unable to close booked appointments. They don't have the time to take the calls once they're generated. Then what's the mechanism that you can implement in their business? You can place a VA closer at the end of their infrastructure to take the calls. All they would need to do is send quotes once they're fully qualified. This is what I mean. You want to sit down, think about all the possible problems that your niche client may face, and come up with a mechanism to solve said problem. And that is how you come up with each component here. The more components you have, the more value you are perceived to have. The more value that you're perceived to have, the more you guys can charge. It's that simple. At the end of the framework, you should have a list of mechanisms that you can build and release into your clients' businesses that are either done for you, done with you, or do it yourself, providing immense value up front. My sort of advice is create as many resources, snapshots as you can so it's done for you. Meaning when you sign a client, it takes less than 2 hours to load those snapshots, share those resources, and then that's all the work that you guys would need to do. So that is how you go from charging 1.5K per month to 5 to 15K upfront, plus 10 to 15% on the back end.